All right, Cowboys Nation, let's get into it. The season is far from over, and despite everything, Dallas still has a shot to make some noise in the playoffs. Now, don't get me wrong. The road ahead is brutal. They're not in an easy spot, sitting at the 10th seed in the conference. But there's a path forward. The Cowboys are in catch-up mode, no doubt about it. If they want to get back into contention for a wild card, they have to win nearly every game left on the schedule. Every single matchup becomes critical. There's no margin for error, and they can't afford to slip up. Tonight, the Panthers take the field. And for what it's worth, it wouldn't be a bad thing to see Carolina pull off a win. Not for the love of the Panthers necessarily, but it shakes things up in the standings, nudges the playoff race into a more interesting place, and keeps the door slightly open for Dallas to make a late push. Sure, they're trailing Seattle. Green Bay is looming, and yes, an Eagles collapse would be a massive boost. But if history tells us anything, surprises happen in this league. The Cowboys are still alive. And that's the angle we need to take right now. The playoff odds might sit around 10 to 13% according to the simulations, but it's not zero. It's a spark, a chance, and in a league like this, anything can happen when the lights are brightest. Now, let's talk about George Pickens. The guy has been phenomenal. There's a reason people are talking about him as a legitimate top target for Dallas. The connection between him and Dak Prescott has been instant, electric. And it shows up on the stat sheet week after week. We're talking about a receiver who has been consistently making plays, dominating coverage, and stepping into the spotlight. When the team needed him the most, against the Eagles, he had 9 catches on 9 targets, racking up 146 yards and a touchdown. That's the kind of impact that can swing games. And it's not just the numbers, it's the way he's integrated himself into the offense, the way he's executed routes, the way he's adjusted on the fly, and the way he's shown he can handle pressure in key moments compared to expectations. This trade has been a home run for Dallas. Pickens is on track to break career records in multiple categories, and it's only November. The Cowboys are clearly aware of the value he brings, and the discussion about keeping him around with a franchise tag is not just speculation, it's a necessity. Losing a player of his caliber after such an immediate impact would be a huge blow. So the focus should be on securing him before the off-season chaos hits. His presence changes the way defenses prepare, the way Dak distributes the ball, and the overall energy of the offense. This is the kind of player you build around, and so far, Dallas has done everything right to maximize his contributions. But while Pickens has been a revelation, CeeDee Lamb has been an entirely different conversation. It's hard to sugarcoat the disappointment at times. He has simply not shown up in the way this team needs him to. The drops have been glaring, game-altering mistakes that have made fans collectively scream in frustration. Against the Eagles alone, he had 7, maybe 8 drops, numbers that exceed what entire teams often see over a full season. He is too talented, too well compensated, and too central to the Cowboys' offensive strategy to be letting opportunities slip through his fingers. It almost feels like a mental block at times, like the yips have taken over. And all you can ask is for him to make the plays that are his by design. The talent is undeniable. The potential is there, but he has to deliver consistently. The Cowboys were lucky in some recent games to overcome these lapses, but luck runs out quickly in the NFL. Moving forward, CeeDee Lamb needs to return to being the elite receiver everyone expected him to be, the one we were debating as a top 3 target in the league. Until that happens, Dallas's offense remains inconsistent, and the pressure on Dak increases even more. Then there's Brian Schottenheimer. The head coach has had his moments under the microscope recently, and for good reason. He's shown flashes of brilliance in rallying the team after rough starts, but there are still critical moments where decision-making hasn't been optimal. Timeout management, red zone play calling, and situational awareness have all raised eyebrows. Against the Eagles, some decisions in the final drives left fans scratching their heads. Letting the clock run instead of preserving time, hesitating on 4th and goal. All of these missteps could have turned a narrow win into a heartbreak. It's not a total disaster. He gets credit for keeping the team motivated, for steering them through adversity, and for winning the game, but the inexperience shows. And those gaps in judgment will need to be addressed if the Cowboys hope to make a deeper playoff run. Head coaching is often a game of inches and split-second decisions, and right now, Schottenheimer is proving that even small mistakes in key moments can have oversized consequences. On the defensive side, there's been a noticeable improvement. But let's not get carried away. The Cowboys' defense has shown resilience, shutting down opponents after a rough start in games and establishing dominance in the trenches. Against the Eagles, after giving up some early drives, they locked in, allowing minimal yards over the remainder of the contest and proving they can clamp down when it counts. Saquon Barkley's numbers were almost comically low, just 10 carries for 22 yards, showing that the run defense is a force to be reckoned with. Quinnen Williams has emerged as a defensive cornerstone, making key plays and helping elevate the performance of his teammates. Osa Odigizua has stepped up, delivering crucial quarterback hits and making his presence felt. The improvement is clear, the confidence is rising, and teams are starting to respect the Cowboys' front seven. Still, it's early to declare the unit completely fixed. There will be tougher tests ahead, higher caliber offenses, and a need for sustained excellence over multiple quarters and games. But for now, the defense has shown it can respond under pressure. And that's a huge reason Dallas remains in the hunt. Dak Prescott deserves the spotlight here as well. He has carried this team with poise, precision, and leadership. Despite a shaky start in some games and a couple of questionable throws, he's consistently delivered when it counts. 23 completions on 36 attempts, 3 total touchdowns, and over 350 yards in a recent contest exemplify his ability to rally the offense, create opportunities, and maintain composure when the margin for error is razor thin. The drops by receivers, the pressure from opposing defenses, and the expectation to deliver every week do not make his performance any less impressive. Dak has proven he can be the anchor for this team, the guy who turns potential losses into wins, and the steadying hand that allows Dallas to keep pushing forward, even with the playoff odds stacked against them right now. The narrative is complicated. You have a breakout star in Pickens, an inconsistent Lamb, a young head coach still learning the ropes, a defense that's improving but not perfect, and a quarterback who continues to perform under pressure. That combination creates tension, excitement, and an unpredictable ride for fans. Every game carries weight, every decision matters, and the storyline is constantly evolving. Dallas is alive, still fighting, and despite the uphill battle, there is reason for optimism. This team has pieces, talent, and moments of brilliance that can turn a season around, but it will require focus, execution, and perhaps a little bit of luck to navigate the remaining weeks successfully. The intensity is high, the stakes are real, and the Cowboys nation is along for every thrilling, nerve-wracking second. Looking ahead, the Cowboys' schedule isn't forgiving. Every matchup from here on out is a test of resilience, focus, and execution. Each opponent brings a different challenge, and every mistake could have amplified consequences. The pressure is mounting, and Dallas can't afford to treat any game as routine. It's not just about winning anymore. It's about proving they belong in the conversation for a playoff spot. The path is narrow, and the margin for error is razor thin. But when you look at the roster, you see reasons to believe there's talent at every level. From the offensive line that continues to anchor Dak, to the wide receivers who can turn nothing into something in a blink of an eye, to the defensive front that has started to terrify opposing running backs and quarterbacks alike. The pieces are in place. Now it's about consistency and execution. And if the Cowboys can harness both, they can make a late-season push that surprises everyone. Let's talk about Dak Prescott again, because you can't ignore what he's doing on the field. When the pressure is highest, when the defense is bearing down, and when mistakes are starting to pile up around him, Dak remains the calm center of the storm. He reads the field with precision, delivers passes that stretch defenses, and has a knack for making just enough plays at the right time against strong opponents. He's often the difference between a narrow loss and a miraculous win. The chemistry he's built with George Pickens cannot be overstated. That connection has become the engine that drives the Cowboys' offense, with Pickens providing a reliable, explosive target on almost every down. He has a unique ability to create space, make defenders miss, and turn short passes into long gains. Every quarterback dreams of a receiver like that, and Dallas has managed to find one mid-season. That's an impact player, someone who can change games in a single play. And the Cowboys need to lean into that chemistry as much as possible as they enter the critical stretch of the season. Meanwhile, CeeDee Lamb's struggles are glaring, but they also present an opportunity. The mental side of the game can be just as important as physical talent, and overcoming adversity can elevate a player's entire approach. If Lamb can regain focus, shake off the frustration, and return to the dominant form we've seen in past seasons, It could be a turning point not just for him, but for the Cowboys as a whole. The potential upside is enormous when Lamb and Pickens are both at their best. Defenses are forced to spread thin. And Dak suddenly has multiple weapons capable of executing big plays in any situation. That level of threat changes the dynamic of the offense entirely and forces opponents to account for more than one player, which opens up opportunities elsewhere. It's not a hypothetical. The talent is already on the roster, and the only variable is execution and consistency. If Lamb rises to the challenge, the Cowboys' offensive ceiling becomes extremely high, and it gives them a realistic shot at a playoff push that can't be ignored. The defense, while improved, will be tested in the coming weeks. The Cowboys have shown they can adjust mid-game, clamp down on opponents, and shut down the run. But the real test comes when facing elite offenses, the ones that can exploit small mistakes and punish lapses in coverage. Teams like Kansas City, Philadelphia if they regain form, and Green Bay will push every limit, forcing Dallas to be disciplined, communicate perfectly, and execute without error. Quinnen Williams has been the standout, a defensive anchor whose presence elevates everyone around him. His ability to pressure quarterbacks, disrupt plays, and command double teams creates opportunities for teammates like Osa Odigizua to make game-changing plays. The coordination, timing, and mental awareness of the defense will be tested more than ever. And it's going to take every ounce of focus to maintain the level of dominance seen in recent weeks. Coaching remains a critical factor. Brian Schottenheimer has shown promise, but the moments where he falters cannot be ignored. Situational decisions, timeout management, and red zone strategy all influence outcomes in high-stakes games. He's still learning the nuances of handling a full NFL season as a head coach, and the margins for error are small. A single mismanaged clock or poorly timed play call can swing momentum and decide games. That said, his ability to rally the team after poor starts demonstrates leadership and preparation. Balancing those strengths with the growing need for situational excellence will define the rest of the season. The Cowboys are learning as they go, and these lessons will be critical as they approach the final stretch of the year. Special teams and field goals also play a more crucial role than they sometimes get credit for. In games where the outcome is razor thin, executing kicks, punts, and returns without mistakes can be the difference between a win and a loss. Every yard matters, and mistakes on special teams often compound pressure on the offense and defense. Dallas has shown improvement in this area, but consistency is key. A blocked kick, a missed field goal, or a poor coverage play could derail momentum and shift the balance in favor of opponents, especially in tight contests where every point counts. Before we roll on, subscribe to Cowboys Wire News, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Your support keeps the Dallas Cowboys updates coming. Tell us what you think in the comments. Whispers are swirling through the NFL after the Cowboys lodged a formal complaint that has reportedly put the league on high alert. According to insiders, the organization is considering a serious sanction, and the intensity of the fallout has only escalated with the release of new footage that has shocked players, analysts, and fans alike. While the league has remained tight-lipped, sources suggest that the images capture moments that could force a reevaluation of on-field conduct standards, sending ripples across locker rooms nationwide. The Cowboys' grievance, though officially vague, is said to revolve around actions that challenge the very spirit of fair play, and league officials are reportedly reviewing multiple angles before making any public pronouncements. Analysts who have glimpsed the footage describe it as jaw-dropping and potentially precedent-setting, though caution that nothing is confirmed until the league makes an official statement. Rumors suggest that teams across the league are already revisiting game footage, trying to see if similar incidents have gone unnoticed, creating a quiet panic among players and coaching staffs alike. Meanwhile, fans have taken to social media, dissecting each frame of the circulating clips, debating whether the league's intervention will be swift and severe or more symbolic. Some commentators speculate that the Cowboys' move might be a strategic play, leveraging the controversy to highlight competitive grievances, while others believe it could trigger a chain reaction of accountability that reshapes how the NFL monitors behavior on the field. The tension is palpable, as insiders hint that whatever decision is made could set a standard for seasons to come. As the drama unfolds, the league's silence only fuels speculation. Will the potential sanction be financial, a suspension, or something entirely unprecedented? One thing is clear: the images that have surfaced are already challenging perceptions. and igniting heated discussions in sports circles everywhere. The NFL, known for its careful handling of controversies, now faces its most scrutinized moment in recent memory, with the Cowboys' complaint at the center of a storm that shows no signs of dissipating. Fans and pundits alike are holding their breath, eager to see how the league will respond and whether the ripple effects will extend far beyond a single game. That's a wrap from Cowboys Wire News. For breaking Cowboys updates, subscribe, drop a like, and turn on the bell. Tell us your take in the comments.